Commissioner Barnes, would you do the honors?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out this morning. It's good to see everyone. This is I would call it it's a mandated or a mandatory meeting, special meeting we're having this morning. And we will go right by the agenda. We have 5 items on the agenda we're going to address this morning. So let's begin. Again, thank you for taking time to come out. It's good to see everyone here. Mr. Butler, let's address item A, the MSTU on the bond resolution. And I see Mark, you're with us this morning. It's good to have you. We may call on you. I'm sure we will. Mr. Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item, MSTU bond resolution, need to make a modification to our resolution from what we had. The insurance rate for the bond come in pretty high, and we need to have that conversation again. There's a way we're going to handle it and not have to worry about the insurance. But Mr. Attorney and Mr. Mark can best address that if we let those two talk about it.
Gladly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Recently, we received notice from Mark with regards to the need from our last resolution that you all approved last month with the modifications and authorizing the chairman to sign those resolutions. As Mr. Butler indicated, the insurance insurance rates came in higher, and they made recommendations to us. So what we wanted to do today is have some simple amendments to those resolutions, having the chairman sign off on it, but changing the authorization that they'll provide the chairman to sign. Mark brought those with him today, and if we can have him come up and offer those comments to you all.
All right. Mark, would you kindly come up, sir? Maybe we can get this all put to rest here.
Be great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mark
All right,
Question
right
with
over here.
Neighbors Giblin and Nickerson. These are the 2 resolutions. I'm going to give those to the clerk here.
There you go.
As Mr. Butler and Mr. Novak indicated, on the limited tax bonds, when you had adopted several resolutions about this before, and at the time we had anticipated getting bond insurance for those bonds. That became financially prohibitive, so the plan now is to issue the bonds without insurance. You got a good rating on the bonds, and so the resolution that's before you is to take out the provisions about the insurance, provide for the funding of a reserve fund, and otherwise it's pretty much exactly the same.
Without insurance.
So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about that.
Any questions on it? Mr. Hammond, you have anything there?
Just want to follow up.
Now, we're going to have to, without insurance, are we going to have to escrow any of the money to?
We're escrowing $400,000.
$400,000, there you go.
For the out of the principal to cover that, but to allay any fears, especially, and I'm going to hit the paper that we didn't have insurance. We sold the first bonds last week, or have an agreement to sell the first bonds last week at a coupon rate of 1%. 1% is what we sold those
On a
the
$4 million.
on the $4 million deal. So it's an astronomically all-time low rate. So we're not talking about, but when we're borrowing money in the 1% range to pay $50,000 for an insurance policy, when our entire interest for that year is not going to be but $40,000, is cost prohibitive. So this is the best financial situation to do this without the insurance rate, with an A rating.
That's good. But anyway, we'll set the money. It'll come out of 4, which will reduce it to, 3.6, but the 400 will still be there. We just got to set it aside, okay? All right. Mark, anyone else? Anyone any questions on this? Mark, anything else?
No, sir. I've got the other resolution for your
Okay.
consideration also. You may want to go ahead and
You
vote on
want to
this.
address this one then? All right, Mr. Attorney, what's your directions on this?
We can entertain a motion on the first resolution and move on to the second.
First resolution.
So
We
moved,
will
Mr.
do.
Chairman.
All right, we have our motion here by Commissioner McLemore.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Barnes. Any other board discussion? Commissioner Quinn, any questions? Anyone in there? All right, is any opposition? If not, The first resolution, motion passed 4-0. Okay, let's address the next one,
Thank you,
Mark.
Mr. Chairman. So the other resolution is the one that deals with your other bonds that you're issuing that are the non-ad valorem bonds. This one is just a ministerial thing. The underwriter wants to change the date of the bonds to be the date that you issue them instead of November 1. And so we're just changing
Date of
that-
issue,
changing
all
that
right.
one thing. Otherwise, nothing's changed. As Mr. Hammond indicated, those bonds, we've put those out in the market. There's an agreement to purchase them at a very favorable rate. And so we're moving towards closing both of these issues the week of the 14th of November.
Good. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, motion by Commissioner McLemore, second by Commissioner Barnes. Any other board discussion? Any questions, any concerns with our audience? All right, no opposition. The second, motion passed 4-0.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is that it? Thank you. Mark, have a good, safe trip back. Thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes item A, the EMSTU. Now we're going to move to item B. It's a joint participation agreement for County Road 382, Industrial Road, which is just this side of the bridge there. Mr. Butler, would you take the lead on that, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is JPA to do with Industrial Road, also known as County Road 382. The culverts at location we call Chicken House Branch through between the sewer plant and the old Silvergem area.
Right, and then there where the city
Culverts
water.
have failed. There's two 48-inch, 80-foot-long culverts they have rusted through. This road was in the
It
plan.
is.
It was on the plan to be paved next year's money. I did ask Mr. Yeager to make contact with DOT, and he did make contact with DOT and got them to agree to front the money this year to replace the culverts and do pavement 100 foot before the culvert and 100 foot beyond the culvert, all of that real bad loamy area around that ditch. So the total of this project is somewhat under $200,000, but recommend to the board to agree to this JPA, and we'll move forward with it and allow the chairman to sign the necessary paperwork. It's no cost to you, no cost to the city, no cost to the county, and the money.
It was in,
Put the money up for the
it was in the original agreement,
In
but
the
they want to
original
do this prior, and that way when they come to pave the road from 98 to 71, that'll already be done.
Yes, sir. And
That's
next
correct?
year, when the money comes in, they will deduct this amount of money from the original, the whole project. We're gonna pay from 98 to 71. So this part will be deleted from it, because it's already built.
Good deal. All right, thank you. Motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Commissioner Quinn.
Second. I'm surprised somebody hadn't already gotten hurt right there.
When you hit it, it's like this, people. Second by Commissioner.
Pull a boat.
Give him this-
You'll learn to slow down.
You surely will. Any other board discussion on this? Does everyone in the audience understand what we're doing here? We're just doing some pre-work instead of doing it all at once. All right, if no opposition, the motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Butler. All right, the next item, item number 3, is the landfill project change order. And I think Mr. Butler will start. Mr. Cawthorn, we may call on you for some input on this and even some of the board input. Mr. Butler. Whoa, yes.
Little bit. You approved this, agreement, the JPA, and authorizing your signature, but there's a resolution that also goes with that.
You're right. There's a
All
resolution.
right, we
that goes
stand
to-
corrected here.
We need that resolution passed.
All right, I need a motion on the resolution for this change to make this. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Quinn.
Second.
Second by Commissioner McLemore. Any other board discussion? Anyone in the audience? No opposition, motion for the resolution passes 4-0. All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, where were we? Number C, landfill. Mr. Butler.
Mr. Chairman, landfill project change order. This is due to the landfill, and it's, I think, majority of you or all of you have been in the landfill the last several days looking at the contractor going in and done the work. The grass is growing. I think Mark will tell you that he's probably going to come back and seed it again for winter grass, and the contractor will have to guarantee that grass growing for the next year. But in so doing, it was a big project. There's a lot of money buried at Five Points landfill for the last 30 years.
Money that you say is buried, we
Yeah.
have a treasure hunt.
We buried a lot of our escrow money in the landfill.
We did.
But the project's complete now, and in order to complete it, we had to provide the clay, and of course, we dug at the north end of the county, and the contractor hauled it. We thought we had enough material, and Mark can better explain it than I can, but enough topsoil material, we had to put 18-inch topsoil over the entire area. And we had to have that hauled out of Wewall, where we took the overburden off the clay, and that good material, we had it hauled down. Got a change order, and that Mark explained the change order, the amount of it, with GAC contractors, but the change order will complete this, and would like, once the engineers sign off, like the board to give clerk direction to go ahead and pay the bill. Because once the engineer says it's complete, then we need to pay the bill.
I agree with that. I think the board will be in agreement with that. Mark, you wanna come up, as soon as Lee gets through here? So let me go to my dollar store glasses.
Morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Lee, you gonna make this presentation?
Yeah, I'll start it off.
All right, thank you.
On the second page there, I've highlighted the areas down number 10 and 11. What we had done was we had stripped some topsoil off of cell 2 and stockpiled it, and we allotted 75,000 yards of gumbo and 75,000 yards of topsoil to achieve a 36-inch cover. And as you can see in number 5, we only used 71,900 cubic yards of gumbo, and we used 71,900 yards that they spread. And on the number 7, which is the topsoil part, on site we only had 43,000 yards. So number 10 shows that they had to haul a total of 26,740 cubic yards of topsoil from the 200-acre site at $5 a yard. So once we totaled that up and then deducted it from the top, the number 7, it come up with a net of $62,064.77 for the change order. So that completed the 18-inch lift for the topsoil. We didn't have enough stockpile at that site, and they just, when they run out of that, they just haul from 200 acres to finish to get the 18 inches of the topsoil. So that's the change order that is in place that they submitted.
And this was with GAC contractors.
Yes, sir.
Collinsworth, with DEP have, Mark or either one of them, with DEP, with the grass there, have you had any meetings with DEP or any, can you enlighten me a little bit on there?
Yeah,
The
we
DEP.
actually had a meeting with them. They found a couple areas that needed to be addressed of some washout. The grass had died, burnt. The contractor had come back and reseeded, and the engineers have came and done a post-construction survey of it. And as soon as the grass that's there now gets up high enough, then DEP will come do their final, and then they will actually close it out for us, and then we'll be done.
That's great. I know that's, I want to thank you, gentlemen, this board does, for keeping a watchful eye on our money there. And we came in a lot less than I thought we would. But again, by watching and keeping up, and I know you counted every load of dirt that went in there, every truck that left was accounted for when it arrived on scene down there.
Yeah, I know our numbers and the engineer's numbers come up to exact on the change order. GAC's numbers was quite a bit higher, and once we
Yeah.
provided our list of what we had, then they come down to our change order.
Well,
So
that was right.
it was
Thank
good
you.
we counted it, because it was to the tune of about $60,000 more.
That's GAC
I
for
like it.
you.
Yeah, yeah,
Sir?
yeah.
That's GAC for you. They gonna do what's right.
So it all worked out.
All right.
So
Mr.
moved.
Cawthorn, let me ask one question. Mr. Cawthorn, are you satisfied with it?
We vetted all the numbers, Lee and I have.
All right, but I mean with the condition and the service out there, Mr. Butler, how do you stand on
Yeah,
that? Are you?
yeah, I recommend that you make a change to the original contract in addition of 62,064.77.
All right, now I've had, as said, I've had the opportunity to go out. I've spent a lot of time there, and Mr. Barnes.
I've been there, yeah.
Mr. Quinn, I know.
Yeah, I've been there.
Has been there, and it's good. It looks good to me, and I think we really, we had rain killed us. Now we're in a drought, so we can get our grass growing. It'll come around. All right, what's the wishes of the board here?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have a motion to pay the $62,064.77. By Commissioner McLemore, second by Commissioner Barnes. Any other board discussion? Anyone? All right, any opposition? If none, this motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Job
Ladies-
well done, fellas.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen,
Thank you.
and the workers and everyone that was involved there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to item number 4D. This is a Willis Landing property / Indian Bayou Road property swap. Now, we'll let Mr. Butler explain this, or I think Commissioner McLemore's been working, this has been one of his projects, and, anyway,
Not,
we'll get back to his position, and we'll address this. Got 2 items there, all right?
I actually can explain it pretty good, Mr. Chairman, if you want me to.
Right, let Mr. Butler get back.
I don't
and
think
we'll-
Mr. Butler will have a problem with it.
Is that all right with you?
That's good.
All right, good. No other commissioner, all right, Commissioner McLemore, this is one of your
Okay, it's one of my.
long dream projects. so-
It is, and what it boils down to is Indian Bayou Road. I call it Swamp Road, but it's a road to nowhere. Most of you pretty well know where it's at, in the county. It's a dirt road to nowhere, and the Mormons, they want that road. They want to close it off. Okay, so that puts us to this. That area in there is leased by hunters. They want it closed off for their hunting leases. So it's a road to nowhere. We grade it, we maintain it. It costs us money to keep it up.
What about all the litter and all?
Huh?
Yeah. Good place, people, washing machines, couches, that'll all come to an end. We have to go in and clean all that mess.
The whole 9 yards. But the good thing about it is we were going to keep it open. The Mormons, they went in there and dug up the ditches and blocked the road off and all, and we called their hand on it and said, no, that's our road. We're gonna keep it maintained and keep it open. Well, I've been working on this Willis Landing Willis Landing boat ramp. Most of you know where that's at, for years. We don't own that landing. The St. Joe Company owned it. Then it was turned over to the Mormons. So, long story short, what we have agreed on is swapping that road for Willis Landing. And I can tell you, because I'm there every day, Willis Landing, you can go down there any time of the day, and it's used. I mean, it would be another public boat ramp for Gulf County. So, I think we're stupid if we don't move on this. So what I'd like the board to do is to support me in swapping that road for Willis Landing. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, we have a road to nowhere. We have to maintain it. We have to spend money keeping it up. Now that the issue with the landfill, people's dumping their garbage down in there, the hunters, it'll satisfy them. They'll get to close the road up. And once we get this under the county's umbrella, then the new commissioner, he can go out and apply for grant dollars like I've done over the years for Gaskins Park and Land's Landing and the whole 9 yards, and actually can make a nice boat ramp marina, whatever you wanna do, out of Willis Landing. So I'm asking the board to support me with this, and I'm gonna lay it out with a motion that we can move forward with this, Mr. Butler, and hope the board supports me with it.
All right, sir. All right, you've got a motion. Let me get a second, and we'll go to, I have a second to Commissioner McLemore's motion.
I second for discussion then.
All right, thank you. All right, now we're in the discussion stage on it. All right, Commissioner Quinn?
Well, my question is, I'm trying to look, he showed me, looking at
Where's
it,
the
I
landing?
want to see where the, Indian Bayou
Here's
Road
where-
is, and then where's the, Willis Landing.
See, here's where the launch is. We're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, a little over 3 acres of property. That'll give us
3.5 acres.
Yeah, ample parking. People live there in this area, so you have people there all the time, and we can put, we can fix it up. We can also, if we wanna put picnic tables down there, we can. If we wanna put, restrooms, we can at a later date. But this is just to open up the door for negotiations. And this road at the Deseret Cattle and Timber, a lot of debris gets thrown in there. We have to go down there and drag it out, and it's not right to clutter up other people's property. But we don't use that road. It's just an expense on us.
If I can.
Yes.
Just ask Commissioner McLemore if you would, just one speak so that it's captured for the record. Commissioner, I'd ask you if you could help. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm just trying to explain to, Commissioner Quinn how the property is laid out here with the Willis Landing part that we're talking about. It's 3.5 acres. And I've outlined it out here for him, and we have copies here for anybody that wants to look at it. It's all laid out perfectly. And, on the road that we're talking about, the Indian Bayou Road, it actually goes right here. If you're going down the, Howard Creek Highway, and actually, it'd go right on down to a little old canoe creek, is what I call it. You might be able to put a little canoe in it, but and it's 5 miles from Lake Wimico through a jungle. If you wanted to go that route to get to Lake Wimico, I guess you could, but it's a journey. I've been down it night and day. But actually, Commissioner Quinn, part of this road is actually in your district. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's actually the south end of it is actually part of it. It is in your district.
Okay.
So, but my point is, it's a road to nowhere, and we spend dollars and dollars trying to maintain it with very, very little use. Nobody launches boats in there. You go in there and throw a washing machine off, and basically that's what you have. So, anyway, it's what it is.
Mr. Quinn, do you have any?
I know, sir. I'm good with it.
All right. Commissioner,
I'm fine, I know what he's talking about.
I'm well aware. Mr. Butler, while we're in the discussion here,
Mr. Chairman, I think Commissioner McLemore said if you allow the process to start,
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
it'll be
all
back.
this is. You have to have public hearings.
it'll be back in
go
front of the
through
board for a vote
procedures.
later.
So this is just to either move forward or not.
This allows us to talk with Deseret and say, we okay with the idea. We printed this map off. We took the LiDAR map, the new LiDAR maps, and printed this off. On the area, this is what we have outlined a little larger than what we're using, so that may be massaged some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah. There's one thing this county needs, I can tell y'all, and I don't have to tell y'all, and that's more public boat access to our resources. Jennifer, you know that. Yes, sir. I know that.
I know.
We definitely need some on this end of the county. So, when I go, y'all need to work on that, you commissioners.
this will be, let me close in saying this, no one else. This would be a win-win, not only for the county, we'd have our public boat ramp down there, and it'd be under the umbrella and the control of the county. All right, the people that, I've got an issue with some roads in the north end of the county, the same way. The landowner owns both sides, people, and they lease land to hunt, and they go in there, I have to go over there with the inmate crew and drag the couches out, and you name it. And, that way, hunters want it, everybody wants it, and we don't use the road. You couldn't launch a boat at the end of this road like Commissioner. It's just a little old ditch that goes out there. But that's it. But so the Commissioner Quinn, your second stands on this,
Yes, yes.
and this is to start the ball rolling for the negotiations with Deseret Cattle and Timber.
And y'all can shut it down at any point.
There you go.
If it don't work out.
There you go. All right. Anyone any Commissioner Barnes? You
I'm good with it. I know what you're
Good,
talking
good,
about.
good. Everybody, you good, Don? Anyone? All right. Any opposition to the commissioner's motion? All right. Motion passed 4-0. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to item E, number 5. It's a budget amendment for Sheriff Harrison over here, and let's go over to, I think I'm correct, where's Sherry at? Here she, Sherry, would you come up and, brief us a little on this, please?
Yes, this is a budget amendment request from the sheriff. This is not a request for additional monies. This is very routine. We do this
No
typically
request.
typically at the end of each year. This is for the outside funds that are not included as a part of the board's budget transfer. This is for the other funds for the sheriff. Do they each have a copy of this?
Nope.
I only have one.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, just read it if you want, or
But,
whatever.
yeah, this is a memo from the sheriff. It just says pursuant to Florida statute 30.50, which requires the Board of County Commissioners approval of the sheriff's budget amendments, and Florida statutes 129.06, 2D, which allows budget amendment increases due to receipt of revenues not anticipated in the original budget. Therefore, the amended increase is a total of the Gulf County Sheriff's Office budget with the added revenues. This includes the Gulf County School Board SRO contract, the City of Port St. Joe contract for city dispatchers, the 2016 GAC Gulf, it's their JAG grant.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, it's their grant from FDLE. Crime prevention funds, fuel tax refunds, restitution and investigative funds, and miscellaneous reimbursement of funds for a total of $224,174.06.
Did the city we wish included or excluded?
That is a part of their board budget.
Okay.
And is listed in there, so it would not be included in
All
this.
right. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Commissioner Quinn. Motion second by Commissioner Barnes. Any other board discussion? All right, anyone in the audience on this change order? Any opposition? Motion passes 4-0. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the items on this special meeting this morning. Thank you so much for coming out. Gentlemen, pleasure. We'll stand and adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
We had a nice meeting.